In 2012, my husband Carrie and I experienced what we considered to be a parent's worst nightmare, the death of a child. Only 12 days after celebrating our son's wedding, we had the devastating task of planning his funeral. Our son Jordan died tragically in a workplace accident. While my grief changes from year to year, I will never be over it, not until I reach heaven. But in the meantime, I've been experiencing firsthand how God is able to recycle my pain for His good purpose. And I know He wants to do this for you too. With our participation, God will repurpose our pain. The question is, will we let Him? No matter what worldview you hold, I would hazard to guess that you may be grieving a painful loss right now. It's the reality of being part of the human race. Like me, some of you are grieving the loss of a loved one. For some, it's the loss of your marriage or the loss of a friendship. For others, it's the loss of your health or the loss of a job or even the loss of a dream. While absorbing the horrendous nightmare of my son's death, there is one truth that has been imprinted on my heart as a result of my history with God, and it's this: Jesus is my foundation, my purpose, and my living hope. And while my husband and my kids are at the epicenter of the people I love most dearly, they are not my only reason for living. They are not the ultimate source of my joy. Only God can satisfy that role. C.S. Lewis wisely puts it this way: don't let your happiness depend on something you may lose. You may lose a child, a spouse, your health, your job, your reputation, your dearest friend. You could even lose your mind. But God promises that He will never leave you or forsake you. He is our reason for living. Well, personally, I have found that God promises to recycle our pain for His good purpose as we participate. You may be wondering, so why should I care about recycling? Well, consider this. Our pain can become a toxin in our soul that will stunt our vitality and health. We all know people who could be described as stuck in their grief. They're not easy to be around. They carry an air of cynicism and hopelessness. They might still be functioning in society, but they aren't really living with any sense of joy or purpose. The pain and suffering that they have experienced has crushed their spirit. For a time, this was a description of me. But gradually, with God's grace and compassionate friends, I have experienced a hope-filled story that is giving others courage to trust God with their painful loss. Because our grief-avoidant society rarely talks about death and grief, I've chosen to leverage what God has taught me through my painful grief journey and use it to help others navigate their loss in healthy ways. Here's the good news. God promises to recycle your pain for His good purpose as you participate and trust His plan.